Hello everyone, and welcome back to Toku Toy Theory, where we take a look at toys from various Tokusatsu series and try to figure out why they look and act the way they do. So this time I'll be taking my first look at Kamen Rider Beast. Now I know that I'm not yet done with Wizard himself, but there isn't too much left to cover with Wizard, and I don't feel like what there is left is enough for a single video. So I'm going to cover that in a later video with the remainder of Beast that I won't cover in this video. So within this video, we'll look at the Beast Driver, Kamen Rider Beast's Wizard Rings, Beast himself, his mantle changes, and the Dice Saber. So, let's begin. To start, we'll look at Kamen Rider Beast's belt, the Beast Driver. So with this, you don't really see many animal details at first, but what you do see here is a cage, with the front being the bars, though designed in such a way that you can't see anything on the inside. Not too much on the rest of it. On the sides you can see these two parts sticking out, which both have an indent in them, and these are somewhat like a pair of locks, each one doing a different thing. I have some intricate designs on the top. On the back, there's Beast's magic symbol, similar to how the Wizard Driver had Wizard's magic symbol. Initially switching it on, you can hear a bit of a lion's growl, hinting to what's inside. The only thing we can really do with this on its own is to simply twist this lock on the right side to open it up. That reveals the beast inside, but doesn't quite give the full effect. For that, we need to make use of Kamen Rider Beast's Wizard Rings. Now, unlike Wizard, the way his rings work is in a different way. Whereas Wizard has both a variety of transformation rings and spell rings, Beast just has one transformation ring and a few other spell rings. So he has more limits on him than Wizard. His transformation ring is done in a different style to Wizard's, but still somewhat similar, being a design that's meant to evoke his face, in this case looking like a lion. But it's a more square design and quite a bit more flat, with no clear parts to no clear parts to imply that it's made from any kind of a jewel. Instead, just metallic colors. And yet it's also kind of sunk in, meaning that it can also be implied that the parts on the side are what are really being made use of and not the design in the center. Then we have his spell rings, which have a different shape, but also a similar principle of a carved design on the inside, each one being a different animal. The first one is Falco, a falcon. And for each you'll notice these different notches on the side, with which there are different numbers of long ones and short ones, which is how they work with the belt. Also for each one you'll notice that they are very intricate carvings and designs. And each one has a golden eye. Next one is Camilo the Chameleon. And this one actually manages to kind of compact an entire chameleon into the design. And they all do have nice textures to make them more distinct. Third is Buffa, the buffalo, which is designed more like a bull than an actual buffalo. In this case, instead of having a texture, you can see details of the animal's muscles. And finally is Dolphy the dolphin. This one having the most smooth design, to go along with the smooth bodies of a dolphin. And so, we first must start with the transformation. So like with Kamen Rider Wizard's rings, Beast wears his transformation ring on his left hand and his spell rings on his right hand. However, because of the way this is oriented, that only works for when you have it facing this way, or when you're wearing it. So, to properly demonstrate, I have to use the transformation ring with the right hand, and the spell rings with the left hand. And just to make it easier, I won't be wearing it. And you don't need to demonstrate the actual functions. So the way to do it is to take the ring, put it into the slot, and then rotate it to the left. Just like so. And so here we get the full effect of the transformation, and it does kind of evoke a scene. Let's just kind of analyze it from the beginning. The ring gets put in, like a key getting put into a slot, and a drum roll starts up. Key turns, the big noise, and the cage doors fly open, revealing the animals, and announcing the lion. Basically, it sets up the theme of a circus show, and the beginning of a lion taming show by letting the lion out of its cage. You can see that animals on the sides are also going in directions that imply them also being let out from the cage. So that really does create quite an interesting bit of scenery and imagination. It really does start to evoke things, and that theme will continue on as we continue on through this analysis. But now we have to look at Beast himself. And so here we have Kamen Rider Beast, whose design evokes both elements of a lion and a lion tamer. Starting from the top, we have the same kind of design as Wizard, where the head looks like his transformation ring was put onto it. You can definitely see a lion theme here, with the mane going all the way around, the mouth plate having fangs, as well as a design implying nose and an eyebrow. Though then we have the typical rider eyes, which are quite large and very round and smooth. Going down to the chest, we have an asymmetrical design here, with a lion's head and mane being draped over one shoulder, and then shoulder pad here, which is similar to the kind you would see on a lion tamer's coat. Moving down, we have some simple lines, as well as gauntlets and armored shin pads. Then you also have more subtle details, like his wrist gauntlets, or wrist braces and anklets, which have a continuing pattern of his four other animals. It's a simple but very effective design, and works out quite well. Unlike with Wizard, he doesn't have full-on form changes, but instead changes part of him, that being, he can equip different mantles, which are these kind of half capes that go onto his right shoulder. And so for that, we make use of the other rings. First we have the Falco Mantle, which gives Beast the Falcon's power of flight. As you can see, the mantles have a continuous theme of each having the head of the animal, similar to the lion's head on his left shoulder. In this case, the design also has feathers on the inside to make the entire cape look like a large wing. And on the back, the design on the edge also looks like feathers. With this we can also see some connection to his familiar, the beast Chimera. Since a chimera is a combination of different animals, and here we have both a lion's head and a falcon's head. And the head on the right shoulder, of course, changes depending on which mantle he's using. Next we have the chameleon mantle, giving Beast the chameleon's power to blend in with its surroundings. For this one, we have the chameleon head, but you also have the tongue sticking out, as that tongue can also be used to lash at his opponents. And the cape has a simple kind of cloak-like design, which kind of goes along with the theme of being able to cloak himself, and the design on it resembles the chameleon's tail instead. Next we have the Buffa Mantle, which gives him the buffalo's incredible strength. And we can see the bullhead design here. It's very well done. And the cape here, which has a hoof shoe design on it, it also resembles a matador's cape, giving it kind of a connection to bullfighting. And finally we have the Dolphin Mantle, which gives him the dolphin's ability to swim quickly through the water, though also gives him the ability to heal magical poisons, which may be attributed to dolphins said to being very helpful to people in trouble. Once again, we have the head design here, a dolphin's head, and the cape, which is very smooth, almost like it was a piece of dolphin skin, and the design on it, which is of various waves. Additionally, using the Beast Wizard ring on the belt after the transformation is what activates Kamen Beast's Kick Strike. But, similar to how Wizard's Kick Strike is affected by which style he's in, Beast can also mix his Kick Strike with the different animal abilities. And finally, we have the Dice Saber, Kamen Beast's signature weapon. However, that name is a bit of a misnomer, as it's not really a saber or sword, but rather a stiff whip or a crop, like what you'd see an animal tamer in the circus using. This has also a very intricate design, with a handle that's made to look like it's kind of bound in leather. Design of an open-mouthed lion. A chamber with a spinning reel depicting a six-sided dice inside. Kamen Rider Beast's full symbol, as well as the animals on the outside, creating his magic symbol, or magic circle rather. And then the blade or whip part up here that does extend out. So for this, it has a few different attack sounds. And while the first one does kind of sound like a sword being brandished, the next two definitely sound more like whipping sounds. But the real part of this comes in with the reel on the inside and the dice. Like with the Beast Driver, it has a drum roll to it. And to finish that, we need to make use of the spell rings. So, spin it, and put in the ring. I'm going to try it again with another one. And there are a couple of different variations to the attack sound.
Saber strike! One! Kamen! Saber strike!
With a 1, you can see that it was a significantly weaker attack. And the third variation is if you land on a 6.
Six! Papa! Saber strike!
And just to complete it, we'll use Dolphy as well.
Saber strike!
Now again, we have something that's evocative and tells a bit of a story. In this case, what I see this implying is basically telling a story of a lion tamer and his lion. In this case, the lion won't perform unless it's fed, so he rolls a dice to see how many animals he'll feed it. And yes, this is implying something rather cruel, but it would kind of make sense with why you're putting the rings basically in its mouth. And so depending on how many animals it's fed, that determines how well it performs, and that kind of correlates to the strength of the attacks, with 1 being the weakest and 6 being the strongest. That also is evocative of how the Beast Chimera needs to be fed magic energy in order to keep Beast's magic power running. So we have something pretty interesting there. And there we go. So overall, I think Kamen Rider Beast is incredibly fascinating in just the way all of this ties together. And how there really is a bit more to him than just being an animal-themed rider, to where he almost has a story of his own Now that's different from his character story, with his gear kind of being made in a way that it evokes scenes and imagery. And it goes along with Wizard, as though he doesn't show it in his design motifs. With the way he behaves in the series, he acts like a circus magician. So, with Beast adding on, he kind of fills another role as being the circus animal tamer or lion tamer. And so with that, he does fit in, despite not really using what would be considered kind of traditional magic, instead having these animal-based powers. But still all ties together really well, and fits in within the series, which I can really appreciate, and because of that, Beast was actually one of the main reasons why I decided to start Toku Toy Theory. Just because of how well the theme worked and just how well it all tied together. So next time, I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Iguana Ghost Striker. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, or share it. And you can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/krx50. And for now, this is KRX50's Finale.